Welcome YouTube and welcome to Black Ice Moto. My name is Vito and today we're going to be working on my 2020 Indian Chieftain. Nothing really wrong with it, but right now we're just needing to replace the battery itself. It's original with the bike. I don't know what the shelf life of this battery was when it was first installed, but at the same time, it's occasionally when it gets a bit warmer, it starts up fine. But as soon as it gets a little bit cold out there, doing some late night rides, it starts to struggle. So right now it needs to get replaced and I'm doing a bit of an upgrade at the same time. So I'll show you what I got. I've got the Antigravity ATX-20. So we're going from an AGM lead acid battery to a lithium battery. There are some definite advantages to upgrading to this and some disadvantages. So that's what we're going to cover right now. But we're going to start off with an unboxing, showing you what the battery looks like, what it comes with, so you know what to expect when you order yours for your Chieftain or motorcycle. So we're going to crack this open. I did order this from Amazon, so I could leave a link in the description box so you know where to get yours. But always double check with Antigravity's website to make sure that you're getting the proper battery. And that's what you're going to look for is the actual ATX-20 or whatever number that it relates to your bike. But I'll link that in the description as well. But let's get this open because I'm super excited. So this is what it looks like when you first open it up. You're going to get some foam shims, because the dimensions of this battery might be a little bit different, so we'll show you that when it's installed. You get some bolts and other hardware. So these are the actual screw down blocks that go into the terminals of the battery. And you're going to get a manual with any potential safety warnings and installation guides that you will need to know and read. So some notable features of this battery. Number one that everybody looks at is the weight savings of this battery. I'll try to get the weight differences after I get the original battery out of the bike and compare them to the new battery. I know that they do have the specs somewhere here as well, but also at the same time, I'll put that down in the description and also show you some pictures within the video as well. It's got 4 different sets of terminals. On each bike, the positive and the negative terminal that connects into the bike are not always on the left or right of the bike. So you can actually flip this any which way you want and get the polarity right according to where your negative and positive are located within your bike. 2, I want to put on some other lights, some other features that I can actually connect directly without getting a breakout box or anything else like that. So I can connect directly to the battery and not have to worry about having a mess of wires connected to the same terminals that are stacked on top of each other, and it looks like an utter mess. And it could also potentially be a bit of a fire hazard. Plus, there's a little breakout box that I have. So let's say if I want to add a trailer, it's a little box about yay big. Hopefully maybe I'll show you once I open up the bike. Because the battery's smaller, I can actually stash it somewhere in between and not have it protrude out and be a jumbled up mess. So that gives me that flexibility to do that as well, which I'm super, super happy about. I would say so far, I'm very impressed with just the general build quality. It feels solid. It looks pretty clean. I love the added features. Oh, and the other thing is, with lithium batteries, they can be deeply discharged to a point. Now, what happens is they get to under a certain voltage and they may die. So, and that's one of the disadvantages. So what Antigravity has done is that they actually put a restart button. Now the button kind of gives you a last bit of reserve that's left within the battery to potentially start the bike. And it also has a BMS or battery management system so that it doesn't allow the battery to go below a certain voltage and make the battery just completely fried or dead. So they've added some extra safety, some extra precaution to make sure this thing is working within your bike for many years to come, and it makes it extremely reliable. So now some of the downsides with lithium batteries is that they're not really good in the cold. Not that they won't work, they just need a little bit of time to warm up or to heat up and get the electricity flowing through the battery a bit. So what you can do is just leave it on standby for a little bit and it'll be perfectly fine. So you just to have some, keep a heads up about that in the future. Because for me, I live in Canada, so we actually have winters. So when it gets to the end of the season, that's something I want to look into, see how it reacts and it behaves around that time. I don't remember all the nuts and bolts and the sizes at the moment, so I'll do my best to fill you in on what's what as we take things apart, and hopefully we'll get everything done in a reasonable amount of time. So let's get cracking on this and get this going. Okay, so first things first, on this particular bike, we need to get the saddlebags off. So I don't know if you can see right over here, we're just gonna slowly try to just pull these out a little bit, okay? We're gonna just pull up the side pieces. You just need to pop the side panel out, and then what you're gonna do is unclip, and you're gonna pull up and loosen these first. Then you'll put just hand on the side here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and you're gonna slowly pull that out. You're gonna lean it against your leg like I have here, and then you can finally finish pulling this out. Because if you do not do that, you're gonna rub this matte paint on the side. And this is a bit of a pain. There we go. On the side of the bags, you're gonna scratch it. Just bring it closer a little bit. There's a hook, so you gotta pull the wire over. And then you're gonna have the clips here that undo the saddlebags. And you just pop off, make sure it's closed, and then we're gonna put the saddlebag off to the side. So here we are, we got the two little side pieces here off. And the reason why we need to expose these is that there are two bolts on either side that you need to remove the saddle here. Also, if you do have a rider's backrest, do remove that beforehand. And there's going to be 3 bolts that hold this seat in. There's going to be one here, one on the back right on the tail, on the rear fender, and one on the exact same side on the opposite side of the bike. And this is a 6mm Allen key or hex wrench. We're just going to loosen this guy up. Now that we got the 3 bolts, so we got 1, 2, and 3 out, you're gonna have your rodeo strap here. You're just gonna push these down a little bit. And you're also gonna pull back towards the back of the bike. And you're also gonna put your hand on the back where the metal bracket piece is of the saddle. And you're gonna pull back and just pull right up. So this is what the bike's gonna look like after you've taken the seat off. So the bolt, there's a Allen head bolt that holds this little computer or this module here on top of this plate, and it will be a 5mm Allen that you're gonna need to remove. Now be careful, you're starting to get a little bit close to the bike here itself. You do not wanna ground anything off. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull up a little bit and off to the side. Move that out, and there we go. Grab some of the bubble wrap that we have from the battery and just encase this in the bag, because we do not want to ground this off. I know this is a bit of a tight squeeze here. Maybe what we'll do is move you to the other side just so you can see what's going on here. So now that I moved you to the other side of the bike here, you get a bit of a better view to see what everything looks like inside underneath the saddle here. The bolts here that connect into the battery are a 10mm, like most other things are. This is the breakout box. Let's move that off to the side. Off like that. And now this battery, it's so tightly packed in here. I'm not probably going to do this in one shot. So, because what what's in the way here is that this is the main wiring harness that goes to the front of the bike right here, that goes right up underneath the tank. It's pinching or right in the way of the battery here. So, oh, just before I forget, on this side of the bike, towards the rear of the bike is positive, to the front of the bike is negative. So your negative terminal is closer to your fairing, the positive terminal is closest to the rear of the bike. So let's try to get this thing out of the way. And this is what I mean, like, just be careful where your terminals are. You really kind of just need to make sure that they're all out of the way. Ugh. And I hate this. So here we got on my little work dolly, or my workbench here, the 2 batteries. I did not realize how heavy this thing was. When I pulled it out of the bike, I was like, is it stuck? Just no, it's actually the entire weight of this battery. This feels like nothing. I can pick it up with 2 fingers. This is actually quite a bit of an effort to do so. But I've got some decent grip strength. So let's turn on my, my scale here and actually get a reading. So we're all nice and zeroed out. This is in grams, so we'll do grams. Let's first put on the old battery, the lead acid. So it exceeds the grams on this scale. So let's see, what other unit can we measure in? Okay, it just tips the scale. It doesn't even, it's too heavy for this little scale here. So let's actually measure out, because we're in pounds and ounces right now. 3 pounds, 10.8 ounces. Pretty much double the cold cranking amps. Now, yes, I understand lithium has a higher peak output, but the capacity is the same. But that's still a huge improvement over this. That's insane. So I'm just shocked. So let's get this going. Let's get this anti-gravity battery into the bike and get this going. So now here I got the Ziploc bag opened up, and this is the hardware that comes with the anti-gravity battery here. It comes with 4 bolts, block nuts I would call them, so they're like little blocks here, and 4 washers here. So what we're going to do here is just get this battery set up. We're just going to get the blocks installed into the posts here, okay? And I'm just going to show you that as well. So let's just get these out off to the side for now, okay? So we're just going to get these installed. There we go, battery set up, it's ready to go. Just remember, positive goes to the rear of the bike and negative goes towards the front of the bike. So let's get that installed. So here's the anti-gravity battery. It's all prepped and ready to go. Bolts are in, they're just loosely threaded into their posts. So let's just get this guy in here. Just be careful, go slow, make sure you're not pinching any wires as you're inserting the battery into the bike. That is so nice. It's actually a pretty decent fit. There's not a lot of wiggle room. It does come with shims, like I think I showed you before, but I don't think I'm gonna need them. The only thing I might need them for is putting them on top of the battery, because it looks a little shorter than the original one, but that's fine by me. I wouldn't mind maybe potentially, if there's enough room, stuffing this guy just underneath like that. And if I can hide that underneath, which I think I can, that gives me a bit more room to organize some wires under here, which that's going to be phenomenal to me. I'm going to be super happy about that. So hopefully that's what we can do and see where that goes. But yeah, battery is in. It's a really decent fit. It fits well into this Chieftain here, into the bike. And let's just get these leads connected. So we got almost everything buttoned back up together. Actually, let me turn on my headlamp. Yeah, everything is back in. So batteries in, organized some cables, rerouted some stuff so that they're not rubbing on anything. And it's such a huge help for that battery to actually be smaller. You can actually stash things underneath, hide your cables, and that's such a huge help. There's actually still a little bit of space, but it's not that big of a deal. So let's actually get this thing started before we fully put everything on, like the bags and the saddle and everything else like that. Let's give this a listen and hear what this sounds like. We're in neutral. Let's start her up. Fuel. Yeah, that's a huge improvement. Even the lights don't dim as much anymore. Everything just, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to torture test this over a period of time and actually see what this battery can do. But yeah, let's button this thing back up and do our final thought here. So it's all buttoned back together. Everything's back to where it should be. I can't do a test ride right now. It is like 10:30 at night. It's raining, so test ride will be for a different time. It'll be in another video. I've already recorded tons of footage for this, but just from the initial startup, I'm already super happy. I'm really liking the fact that, yet again, it's got the 2 extra terminals so you can connect accessories with no extra issues or doubling down on top of other connectors and creating potential fire hazards. How light it is, and yeah, I'm just happy to have a bike that I can rely on, that starts up every time I push the button to get it going, and I can start riding this to work with no issues at any time of the day. But just fair warning, I forgot to mention this earlier. When you use a lithium battery in your bike, you will need a specific lithium trickle charger or battery tender that only is specifically to lithium batteries. Most of the chargers on the market now offer lead acid, AGM, and as well. But if you have an older one, just double check to make sure that it actually has lithium charging capability. Just double check. I'm glad that there's companies out there that are doing this kind of stuff nowadays. I know there's, like I said, this is Antigravity. I know there's Moto out there, a few other companies, but I'm super happy that technology is advancing and we have this kind of stuff available to us. If there's anything else you would like me to do, which I have a ton of other videos that I have planned in the pipelines to do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like this channel, if you liked the video, tell me what you liked about it. If you didn't like it, put a thumbs down. Tell me what you didn't like about it. I always appreciate the feedback. Whatever you want to see, let me know, and we can get it done all together with the beauty of the internet. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your day, ride safe, and have a good one.